Hello, I'm Terry Kelly, Director of Representation and Member Services at the Law Society of Ireland. This is one of a series of videos that provides information for solicitors about buying, selling, merging and closing a legal practice. If you have questions or need additional support from the Law Society's Small Practice Support team, please contact us using the details at the end of the video.
Welcome to Valuing a Legal Practice, a Law Society video that is one in a series providing career management information for solicitors about the buying and selling of legal firms. I'm Keith O'Malley of Law Society Support Services. There are 5 traditional ways to value a legal practice: according to turnover, according to profit, based on net assets, by pre-agreement, and realizable value. In the past, professional firms were most commonly valued according to turnover. As profitability increasingly began to vary among professional firms, valuations were often linked to profitability also. A very different way of valuing a business is by reference to its assets less its liabilities. Valuations based on pre-agreement are those where the owner of a firm makes an agreement that involves another person taking over the firm at a future date. Realizable value refers quite simply to what somebody is prepared to give you for the asset. This is often the yardstick that applies in a buyer's market. During these times, the kind of purchase-sale agreement is more focused on reaching a deal that works for both parties rather than on financial valuation per se. The buying and selling of a legal practice ground to an almost complete halt to the economic collapse of 2008 and 2009, and has been slow to re-establish since. Over the last few years, there's been quite a buyer's market, and things remain quite certainly not uniform. Let's now go and look at matters that can complicate practice valuations. When business premises are included in the purchase of a legal firm, major problems can arise. The vendor may have a view regarding what the building is worth that is not in line with the purchasers. Best advice is to do 2 separate deals, one for the business and another for the premises. Other fixed assets such as office furniture might have cost a good deal of money and have a high book value, but vendors should expect to be paid little for these items. Debtors can impact significantly on a legal firm's value. A good argument exists for not including them in the purchase agreement at all, and for letting the vendor collect them directly. Vendors and buyers can find it difficult to agree on a value for work in progress. However, this is less a problem in recent years, as purchasers don't often now pay for work in progress up front. Arrangements to pay for income as it comes in is now much more usual, and in these circumstances, valuations in advance are not necessary. The value of goodwill and when it needs to be paid for is often determined by the relative strength of the purchaser and the vendor. Currently, buyers are better positioned in this regard. Taxation and whether consideration paid qualifies as a capital gain or as an income can cause big challenges in reaching a deal. Let's now look at some other challenges facing prospective buyers. A business owner may provide very impressive turnover and profit figures, but ascertaining just how reliable these are can be difficult, especially in advance of due diligence. The issue of staff is a difficult valuation matter for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes you really need to be assured that staff will transfer with the business. In other circumstances, the business should be acquired free of staff. If a firm has good automated practice management system in place, that's great. It reflects a commitment for doing things right and makes due diligence much easier to complete in due course. That's the end of this video. There's a number of other videos in this series are available with information on buying and selling legal firms, and we hope you find them of benefit. Bye.